So reggae bass lines usually come in three categories. You have category one, which is your two-chord style bass player. So Flabber Holt will tell you that he's a two-chord bass player. And then you have category two, which is your song style bass player. And you would have Family Man, Lloyd Parks, Robbie Shakespeare. These guys can weave in and out of a reggae song with their bass line. And then you have category three, which is where you need the big boy pants. Rhythm up, my reggae bass lovers. Welcome to the Reggae Bass Hub with me, Don, the channel where we talk about all things reggae bass. Now, looking back over my career, there's been two gigs that have had to make sure that I've eaten my spinach before I turn up to the first rehearsal. One of those is John Holt with the bass lines supplied by Jackie Jackson. And the other one of those was Pablo Moses with the bass line supplied by Robbie Shakespeare, Family Man. And I remember playing a particular song and asking Pablo, who played the bass, it would possibly Pave the Way or one of those tracks. And he said to me it was Val Douglas. Now, Val Douglas isn't a name I'm unfamiliar with, but I didn't know a lot about Val Douglas's career. So this was around about the year 1999, and I'm going to fast forward to the year 2020 when I started putting up bass videos, first on Facebook and then on YouTube. Now, I did a video on Flabber Holt and I did a video on Roots Radix, a Roots Radix medley. And I remember getting a message from, let's just call him Chris to protect his identity. And Chris had said to me, great video, but I'm not a fan of Roots Radix. And I was offended. You know, how can you dare not be a fan of the greatest reggae band ever? And Chris goes on to say that Roots Radix had spoilt reggae music. And the greatest reggae band is, of course, I thought he's going to say the Wailers. And if it's not the Wailers, he's going to say it's Sly and Robbie or maybe Soul Syndicate. But Chris went on to say that the greatest reggae band ever was the Now Generation. And I was a bit stumped because I know nothing about the Now Generation. So I did some research and then I realized that the Now Generation had played all of the hits of my childhood. Breakfast in Bed, Tears on My Pillow for Johnny Nash, Dat by Pluto, Everything I Own, Ken Booth. Now Generation had played all these hits, and the bass on all of these tracks was supplied by no other than Val Douglas. And then more research and I find out that Val Douglas has played on some of my Dennis Brown hits that I love. He's played on Survival, which is my favorite Bob Marley album, especially the two tracks, So Much Trouble in the World, and everyone's favorite track is One Drop. But my other favorite track after So Much Trouble in the World is Wake Up and Live. Val Douglas played on those two tracks because Wake Up and Live is where Bob Marley goes into James Brown mode. This is where reggae meets funk over my favorite chord progression, the one chord. So one of my favorite bass lines of my youth is Dennis Brown's Let Me Down Easy, a cover of a soul song by Van McCoy. And the bass line on this, for years I thought this bass line was played by Jackie Jackson. And then I find out that this bass line is played by Val Douglas. And this is where you go and grab that bass, because we're going to walk through this bass line today and break it down. So go grab that bass. So in every song you can find a hidden lesson. And in this particular song, Let Me Down Easy, the lesson is going to be chromatic approach. So what is chromatic approach? Chromatic approach is where we approach a target note from the semitones below. So chromatically, a chromatic scale, but if we were going from C to C here, the chromatic scale would be, we'll be playing all the notes from the low C to the high C. So if we're going to approach a target note, in this case it's going to be a G, we can approach that G from below. We'll use the two notes below the G, F, F sharp, G, or we can approach it from above, which will be A, A flat, G. So that's two types of chromatic approach. It could be 2 notes, it could be 3 notes, it could be 4 notes. So you've probably heard chromatic approach a million times, just don't have a name for it. If I take the song I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, so we start in A flat, we chromatically climb to the C, that's the B to the C, then we chromatically climb, going to F is our target, so the song Let Me Down Easy is split into 5 sections. We have the intro, the chorus, the verse, the pre-chorus, and the outro. So we're going to start with number 1, which is the intro. So we are in the key of G. So first of all, we're going to play a G major scale. So we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And as we always do, we're going to number those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our octave 8. Now we're really just going to focus on 1, 2, 5, 6. So that's 1, 2, 5, 6, and I think near the end we'll probably touch on the 4. So we're really going to be focused on our 1, 2, 5 especially, and we'll be throwing in the 6. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our first note, which is A. That's our 2. We're in the key of G, but we're going to be starting on our 2, which is A. And we're going from A, targeting note 5, which is D, and we're going to finish on 1. Let's call it 2-5-1, which is a concept that comes up in music all the time, something that you need to get your ears used to hearing. So we're going from A, and we're going to chromatically walk up to this D. So we could go from just direct from, but Val Douglas finds an interesting way from getting from the A to the D. So we're going to play the A. We're going to jump up to B here and chromatically walk up to that D. And then we resolve. We have some tension there, it needs to go somewhere. Resolve on the G. So we have resolve on the G. Then we have this little chromatic pattern here, which is D, C sharp, D again. It's the same thing twice. Then we go to C and chromatically walk to the D. So I'll do that again. And then an open E. E is our 6, by the way. So I'll play that again. A, we're going to walk up to the D, B, and resolve on the G. And this pattern, and then chromatically from C to D. So on the last one of those, we have a walk up here, which is the same thing again, which is A, B, C, walking up to that D. And then we finish with this rhythm pattern. Anyone that remembers from my rhythm course, if you have my rhythm course, or if you remember my 16th note video, we have a rhythm, what I called Bunny Wailer and Bob Marley. So we have, which is 4/16s, and Bob Marley is Bob Marley. We finish on a 1. So da 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 1. Now I'm going to play that along with the backing track, nice and slow, so that you can see what's going on. Here we go. So next we have the chorus, and with the chorus, what we're doing, we're concentrating on three notes here, which are our root G, the fifth D, and the octave G. So the 1, the 5, and 8 of the G major scale. And what Val Douglas does here to make the bass line sound really interesting is he chromatically walks from above to the target note. So our target note is G. We're going to walk from A to the G chromatically. Do the same for the D, from the E here. And then for the G here, chromatic from here to here. You put that together, you get. And then we finish with this slide from the C to D. C to D, 4 to 5. So 3, 4, slide from C to D. I'll play that with the backing track. Let's see how that sounds. Again. So next we go to the verse, and the verse is really easy because you've played the verse on the intro. It's exactly the same notes with a slight variation. So the verse is, we play, if you remember, we went from A walking up to the D and finishing on the G. But this time we don't play a single note on the A, we play double eighth notes. We've got one bar, all the rest is the same. 2 on the A. Play that with the backing track quickly so you can just hear how that sounds. Just 2 on the first note. So next we move on to the pre-chorus, and it's called the pre-chorus because it's before the chorus. We have the note C, which is our 4. We have C as an octave. Then we have A as an octave. Play A again as an octave. And then we do our famous walk up again from that walk to D. When we put a rhythm to it, we get and I'll walk up. I'll play that with the backing track and you will hear how that sounds. A again, same rhythm, walk up to the D, stop on that D. We're going into the chorus. So the only thing left now is the outro. Another name for this outro is a turnaround. So what's going on here? We start with a slide from C to D. And then we play what we've played earlier, which is our chromatic to G, chromatic to D. And then Val Douglas pulls out one nasty move here, and the chord goes to the 6, which is here. So we play the turnaround. 6 here, walk to the 6 and then to the octave. So I'll play those two together. We get 5. Now we're going to the 6, 1, 6. Then we walk up again. 1 5 octave. 1 6 octave. I'll play that with the backing track so you can hear how that sounds. Six and C to D, 5 octave, 1 6 6. And that is the whole song. So one of the important parts of learning this song is just make sure you listen to it over and over again and get the sound and the notes into your bloodstream. So there's not a lot of information on Val Douglas online, but what I'll do is I'll stick a link below so that you can check out some interviews and some of his music. And I'll also stick these short snippets so that you can practice. I'll stick a link in the description for that, along with the PDF as usual. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson on Val Douglas. And Val Douglas, thank you for the bass lines. You've definitely made me a part of who I am. Do like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Pre-chorus.